Hi, I'm Lisa Ferentz, and today I'd like to talk with you about a subject that I don't think we talk about enough, and that has to do with the connection between trauma and spirituality. I'm an older clinician, and when I went through grad school, I was given the message loud and clear to never ask questions about a client's religious background or their sense of spirituality. And I think unless you actually have gone to a program in pastoral counseling, it could well be that that is still the mindset in the mental health field. And what I want to put out there is what I think is the absolute necessity and importance of asking questions about where your clients are holding amongst religious observance and their sense of spirituality. This is not about proselytizing. This is not about forcing anybody to embrace any mindset that doesn't feel safe or comfortable for them. And certainly in this day and age, it is important to ask questions to discover whether or not the abuse that they may have experienced was connected to clergy abuse, because that's incredibly prevalent, tragically, in our society. I want to know, though, if they grew up with any sense of religion, and if they did, were those religious ideas connected to sinning, to shaming, or to anything else that would leave them feeling unworthy or bad about themselves in some way. Conversely, it's also important to know if any kind of religious ritual or liturgy that they grew up with was a source of comfort for them. Oftentimes, when we gravitate towards religious rituals that are safe and that are comfortable, it gives us a real sense of identity. It helps us to feel grounded and connected, both within ourselves and I think to a larger community. So I think it's vitally important to know, is there a place for spirituality and or religious observance in your clients' healing journeys? Is there room for prayer? Do they believe in the notion of a higher power? Because if they do, that can be a tremendous source of comfort. And if they don't, then I want to just learn more about why it is that they don't buy into the notion of a higher power. And by the way, a higher power does not have to be synonymous with God or Jesus. Higher power can have to do with the way they experience a sunset or something beautiful in nature. I even work with my clients to have them make a connection between the notion of a higher power and the wisest, most compassionate part inside of them. But once they have that notion, it can give them a tremendous source of relief and comfort to know that they can turn things over when they need to, that they don't have to carry the sole burden of their pain and their trauma by themselves. So don't be afraid to ask your clients about where they stand on these experiences and these issues. Look for ways to incorporate a spiritual assessment as a part of the overall assessment that you're doing with your clients. After all, we want to think about clients from a bio-psychosocial spiritual perspective. And keep in mind that for your clients who've completely rejected their religious upbringing and have no sense of spirituality, that can be just as powerful and just as impactful as the client who fully embraces a religious and or spiritual life. And lastly, keep in mind that those two words are not synonymous. So somebody can be very, very religious in a kind of rigid and dogmatic way and not be spiritual at all. And there are other people who can be deeply spiritual and not be connected to any organized religion. So we want to be able to tease all that out and understand where our clients are holding. But please feel comfortable bringing it into the room. It's part of that person sitting across from you.